Okay, welcome back to another episode of Catch and Tie. Today we're going to be tying this little grub pattern. It caught a fish in the delayed harvest section in western part of PA. It was a pretty good day fishing. A lot of guys out on the creek. They had stocked recently and everybody was catching fish. Took my camera with me, of course, and really only caught this guy on video. I had some camera issues that ran out of battery pretty quickly, so I went out and bought more batteries. Shouldn't have that problem again. Alright, first we're going to show you the fish that we caught, and you'll hear a little conversation on the creek with the other fellows, and then we're going to go ahead and tie the fly. Alright, hope you enjoy. Here's the fish. What'd you catch?
Rainbow.
Good, good. What, about 12 inches?
What's that?
About 12 inches?
Yeah, maybe a little bit bigger.
Good. Here we go. Tiny baby.
Oh, look, everybody's doing it.
Everybody's catching a fish. Yeah, he hit it like 3 times in a row. Let's see what he got it on. He got it on. It's a big grub that I tie. Yeah, I'll show you that in a minute here. Make sure I got him on camera here. Okay, welcome back. See that little rainbow that this fly caught? Nice little day on the water. Had some company to my right and my left. Some good conversation. Everybody was catching fish. Good day. Alright, let's get start tying this fly here. First we're going to start off with some lead wrap. The size I'm using is .015. You can use a little bigger if you want to have a little fatter body, or even no lead at all if you want a little lighter, but about 10 wraps. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 10's about what I do. Go ahead and wrap that in there. Okay, you want to leave that about the middle of the body there. Take your thread. The thread I'm using is this 75 denier Royal Sissy thread that I've been using for a while because it's on my spool and or on my bobbin, and about the color I needed. So go ahead, tie in front of it, tie behind it, and then tie over it. That's a good way to keep it centered on your hook. And go ahead, snip away your tag end. Go ahead, take the thread down around past the bend of the hook. And from here you're going to tie in a little bit of this squirrel tail. It's a gray squirrel. Don't want a lot, just take a little snip off of there. Alright, you don't really want a long tail, just long enough, but that will do. Then wrap it in and wrap it all the way down to where you left your thread off there. With this body to be pretty big, so you want to start the body material way down here too. So take the all the way down. Helps if you keep a hold of the squirrel tail or squirrel hair and pull it towards you just a little bit. It'll keep it centered on the hook. There, how's that look? Yeah, it looks pretty good. Alright, take the excess away. Alright, we're going to go ahead and tie in a piece of this gold colored wire. Snip a little piece off it. Don't use your good scissors. Wire I'm using is actually, it's pretty heavier gauge. It's a, let's see here, 22 gauge wire. Pretty heavy for fly tying. But the reason I chose this wire is this body material that I'm using. It shows up real good on it, and I wanted a little fatter wire on it. I tried other wires, it just seems like it sinks into this body material here. So go ahead and tie it in. Take it all the way down to where you tied your tail into. Alright. Now, this body material that I'm going to use is animal print tape. It's a thicker plastic tape, sort of like the thick electrical tape, and it's good for these projects. I use it actually on quite a few things. What's nice about it too is you can select a piece of tape that has the color you desire. This one here has a little lighter color, goes into darker. The one I selected here is pretty much, this segment's all dark. A little red, a little black. So it should look pretty good. Go ahead and trim it the one end to a point. The reason you're going to do that is when you tie it in, you don't have a lot of bulk on the rear of the fly. And the tape is sticky on one side. So peel the backing off, place the sticky side up against the hook, and go ahead and tie it in. The reason you want the sticky side up is when you fold it over to wrap it up, you're going to have the animal print side out. Just makes it easier that way, less bulk. Wrap it down a couple times, make sure it's down. It looks about a good starting point there. And go ahead and bring your thread all the way up to the front. Okay, from here you can actually take your bobbin holder, your rest there, and just get it out of the way. When you start your tape, make sure you stretch it a little bit, but not too much, because this will break on you. You want this to have the illusion of a smaller rear of the fly, a little thicker in the middle, a little smaller in the front. This is looking pretty good. This actually could be imitate a cased caddis also. Okay, that actually looks pretty good. Go ahead, you can move your bobbin rest out of the way there. And you want to go ahead and tie this in. You don't want to crowd the eye of the hook. You're going to save that for some little ice dub. Okay, go ahead and tie it in real good here. And now you're going to bring that wire, go ahead and wrap it around. I like to do it nice and tight, just making a segmented body. Looking pretty good. Alright, go ahead and tie your wire off. Being this is heavier gauge wire, you really want to tie it off a lot. That lighter gauge is easy to helicopter off this. Sometimes it'll give you a little harder problem or a little tougher there. That looks pretty good. It's sticking up just a little bit. I'm going to press that down. Alright. Go ahead and wrap over that a few times. Okay, from here, you want a little UV finish on it. This shines it up real nice. Found this material is actually pretty durable in the water. I wasn't quite sure when I started tying with it, being it's not really a fly tying material. But as I used it, it seems to hold up pretty well. I just used the UV pretty much to shine her up, give it a nice glossy finish. And take your bobbkin, spread it around a little bit here. Alright. See how the wire shows up pretty good in this. I noticed the thinner wire, the traditional small ultra wire, didn't show up very good at all. Okay, once you get it all spread around, go ahead and take your light, give it a zap. Pretty powerful light, but it's actually a little bit of the finish on there. Give it a zap for a couple seconds here, make sure it's cured. Okay, now that you have the UV finish all cured, pretty much all we have left to do is add a little ice dub. Got several colors to choose from. I'm going to take this, what color do they call it? Rusty brown. Is that it? Yeah, rusty brown. Don't need a lot, just enough. Go ahead, dub it onto your thread there. And I like to just pull back a little bit as you're doing it. And end up with your thread right behind the eye of the hook. Give it a whip finish. Go ahead, trim your thread off. And you don't really want that much ice dub on there, so you can go ahead and take off as much as you want, or leave on as much as you want. But that's about how I like it there. And you can add a little bit of Sally Hansen's to the thread. Make sure she's going to stay on there as you fish it. Let's get and there you go. Okay. You have a little grub pattern made with some craft tape that's called animal print tape. Been using this a lot. I bought a bunch of it because it was on sale for next to nothing in the clearance bin. Figured I'd buy it, figured out how to use it, and it works pretty well. So if you like this video, go ahead and give me a subscribe, give me a like, tell me what you like about it. Tell me if even if you don't like it, I don't care. It's a proven fish catcher. And that's not the first time I caught a fish on this. Actually, it works pretty well. They either mistake it for a cased caddis, or even could be something like a grub or a crane fly larvae. But hey, it works. Alright, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. And I'll see you next time. Thank you.